of the evening is Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman is a game that got canceled recently, and it's a game that caused the death of not one, not two, but three studios. Well, to be fair, Multiverses was also a thing too, but we already knew that. So Wonder Woman's not coming out anymore. Wonder Woman was in development hell for the longest time. We already knew that. There was reports last year talking about how the game was struggling. Jason Schreier was one of the people who started those reports. And we kind of came to the conclusion, based off of the people who were working on the game, that it's probably not going to end up very well. Now, apparently, there's a lot of people coping and seething over the fact that Wonder Woman's not going to be coming out anymore. And then some of them are blaming Batman, which is so weird to me. Right? They're blaming Batman because they know that the Batman Arkham series is the more popular series by a long shot. They're so popular that people didn't even want to buy Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League because they wanted an actual Arkham game. Now, let's go over this actual thread. Wonder Woman fans have been left without a game to look forward to following Monolith's closure. Fans of Wonder Woman are bitter about the constant focus on Batman at WB Games. WB Games is shifting its focus to core franchises, which doesn't seem to include Wonder Woman. Again, man, Batman is more popular. That is obvious. I'm not saying Wonder Woman is not popular. I'm just saying Batman is more popular, especially when it comes to the video games. People want the Arkham games. People feel like they got slighted by not getting an Arkham game, and instead we got a live service bullshit game like Suicide Squad. So to blame Batman just seems a little bit ridiculous to me. Fans of Wonder Woman are bitter about the constant focus on Batman. The recent closure of Monolith Productions and cancellation of the studio's in development Wonder Woman game has fans of both Monolith and Wonder Woman bitterly disappointed. These developments weren't entirely unexpected, given a recent report from Bloomberg that stated that the game was in trouble and still years from release, despite Monolith already spending over $100 million on the project. Guys, this game would have been a $300 million game, most likely. If they had spent years on the game and that cost them over $100 million, and you mean to tell me if they would have continued with development, it would have been a few more years before release? This would have been a $300+ million costing game, and there's no fucking way that it was going to make its money back. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. There's absolutely no way. Imagine wasting $100 million on this project. Now, again, I like trolling people online, so I called this game woke to piss off the people who I knew were going to click on the video. But in all truthfulness, I wasn't calling the game woke because we didn't see the game. We don't know the game. What I was calling woke was the fact that the people that were working on the game, we know for a fact that some of them are ideological psychopaths that will most likely have interjected some of their own ideologies into the game to some extent. Right? That was my assumption. And again, it is my own opinion. It's my own assumption. But based off what we know about certain people who worked on this game, I think it's fair to say that. Now, here's the sad thing. Before we get into the people, Monolith reportedly struggled to integrate its beloved Nemesis system, which, by the way, the Nemesis system is still trademarked till 2036, which is fucked up. Like, why do you not sell the system to other people who will utilize it better? It really just pisses me off. It is a great system, and they will not let anybody use it. But whatever. Anyway, they were going to integrate the Nemesis system into Wonder Woman, and attempted to reboot the project without it because they didn't know how to do it. However, from the perspective of Monolith's parent company, WB Games, it was too late to save the project. Fans of the immensely popular character Wonder Woman are now without a game to look forward to. So let's see the spurging out. I want to see the blaming on fans on Batman, and then I'm going to show you the real blame for this game. The comments on a thread from a scarecrow on Reddit illustrate the current feelings of Wonder Woman's fans following the cancellation. We can't have shit, writes Rocket69, an accurate summary of the sentiment among Wonder Woman fans. There's also a sizable number of responses bitter about the priority WB Games places on other DC Universe characters, namely Batman, Suicide Squad, and Superman. Well, I'm telling you right now, Batman and Superman, way more superior to Wonder Woman in terms of popularity. Suicide Squad is fucking dumb. I don't know why Warner Brothers has a hard-on for Suicide Squad when almost every single Suicide Squad project has failed. I just don't get it. It's like they're trying to make the Suicide Squad a thing because they so desperately want something that could even come close to what the MCU had in its heyday, but it's just not going to happen. Stop trying to make Suicide Squad into a thing. And then to sit here and to blame and complain about Batman and Superman. Are you fucking kidding me? There is no DC universe without Batman and Superman. That conversation shouldn't even be happening right now. But anyway, another 10 billion adaptations to Batman, comments the Maple Leaf unenthusiastically. But I'm sure they'll find some way to churn out a dozen more Batman games. And guess what? They'll make money. They'll make money. Says completely predictable. No one is allowed to have video games except Batman, Batman adjacent characters, and evil Superman, writes Relative Mix 216. They'll make money, though. That's a sad thing, but they will make money. This isn't far from the truth, as Warner Brothers Discovery President and Chief Executive Officer David Zaslav told stakeholders in an earnings call that WB Games' renewed focus would be on Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, and DC, particularly Batman. In fact, Rocksteady Games appears to be returning to single-player Batman games following the relative failure of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. They should make another Arkham game. That's what people wanted. Mortal Kombat is a known long-standing series. They should make good ones. Game of Thrones, it's more of a movie. It's more of a TV show IP than anything, but whatever. Hogwarts Legacy gave them the number one selling game of its year. Hogwarts Legacy was top 10 selling of last year. So why would they not focus on a $1 billion franchise? I'll put it to you like this. If it wasn't for Hogwarts Legacy, guess what? Guess what? If it wasn't for Hogwarts Legacy, all the other shit would not have even had a chance to exist. Where do you think that $100 million came from that was wasted on Wonder Woman? Where do you think it came from? It didn't come from Suicide Squad. It didn't come from Mortal Kombat. Not the recent ones. That shit came from Hogwarts Legacy. So you can hate on Hogwarts Legacy all you want, but Hogwarts Legacy brought in the money that allowed you to waste $100 million on your bullshit. Flat out. And at the very least, Hogwarts Legacy made it very interesting for investors to continue to invest or to entice new investors into Warner Brothers, which then allows you to get certain projects greenlit so that you can waste $100 million until your game eventually gets canceled. But the simple fact of the matter is you can complain about these things all you want, but without these games, you don't got nothing. You got nothing. You're not going to be able to make anything new because you're relying on these games for income. If they don't exist, you don't exist. That's just the truth of it, man. On that subject, Nightwing Titans writes, so the Suicide Squad gets a shitty game that shuts down after a year. But Diana can't even get that. Wonder Woman has never been the sole protagonist of a video game, often acting as a non-player character, as in Suicide Squad, or as a playable character in an ensemble cast, as in Injustice. Well, you just answered your own... Wait. You just answered your own question. You just answered your own question. So Warner Brothers looks at Suicide Squad and realizes, we fucked up. Let's not repeat the same mistake. So then they look at Wonder Woman and they realize, this game cost us $100 million and we have nothing to show for it. Yeah, we're canceling it. If Suicide Squad didn't come out before that, they probably would have continued with it because they didn't fuck around and find out yet. But unfortunately for Diana, Suicide Squad was already that game for them. So they're not going to want to repeat the same mistakes. Flat out. So now that we know that, now that we know people on Reddit are blaming Batman and Superman, which again is very weird, very, very weird. I want to remind you guys who really was the one that probably killed this game? Not solely, but who was a contributing factor into killing off? Oh, fuck. I clicked that by accident. Who was a contributing factor? So Pirate Nation makes this post, and it says, Tanya DePass, former senior writer on Wonder Woman for Monolith Productions Games, journalist for Polygon and Vice, diversity coordinator for Gamer X, and founder of I Need Diverse Games, says the following. She will come for anyone saying she or any of her colleagues deserve being laid off. Now, here's the thing, though. It's worse than that. Cypher, which is the creature in the thumbnail, that creature said the following. Any of you motherfuckers saying a fucking word about us deserving it, I will come for you. Do not try it with me or any of my colleagues. And then she has two swords crossed after that. Or it looks like two swords. It might be two muskets. No, it's two swords. That's two swords. It's got two swords crossed, right? And then the creature says, I'm logging off for a bit to try to process this news. So wait a second. You mean to tell me that you're tough enough to come after a motherfucker? Or at least that's what you want to convince people. That you're tough enough to want to come after people if they talk bad about you and your colleagues, but you're not tough enough to be able to handle the process of being fired, that you need time off to mentally handle it? Are you serious? You just did two completely different actions in one singular tweet. You tried to play tough, and then you admitted that you're a pussy. How do you do both of them back to back? That's actually pretty wild to me. Hold on, Cold Classic K just said something. Let me pull it up. Shout out to Cassie. Suicide, definitely squad, definitely the reason why they canned that game. Shame, because a good Wonder Woman game would have been badass, but we know these types don't want to make good games sad. 100%. I agree. See, that's the thing. When the Wonder Woman game was first announced, if you guys remember way back when I first covered it, I was actually pretty interested in it. I was like, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. The first thing that came to my mind was thinking of a Batman Arkham style combat system, but with Wonder Woman set in her own universe. I was like, that sounds cool. I think that would work. Or like a Shadow of Mordor style game set with Diana. You know what I mean? Like, that would be cool. And then we started to find out that that's not what we're going to be getting. Little by little, we found out that the people that were working on it were psychopaths. And before you know it, you kind of start losing hope. You kind of start realizing, oh, these people don't actually have Diana's best faith. You know, they don't have that, as a concern for them. You were thinking a better Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Yeah, sure. I mean, even that too. Even that too might have been good. Again, there's so much that you could do with a Wonder Woman game. Seriously, like you could approach that game in a multitude of different ways. So the fact that after a few years of development, they were struggling to even produce anything that even looked like a game tells me that there was way too many chiefs over at Monolith Studios, way too many activists trying to get control over how to make the video game, and there was really bad leadership. Really bad leadership and really bad just overall handling of the situation, which led to them wasting $100 million and having nothing to show for it. So it sucks, but trust me, I would have loved to get a Wonder Woman game, a real one, not a bullshit one. Cassie says, bro, imagine an insane war on Themis. I never know how to say that word. Oh, Themyscira. There you go. That would be cool. But again, we're never going to get that because we wouldn't have got that anyway. Not with the people who were working on the game. Do you think a creature like Cypher could write something like that? Honestly, for the people who out there saying, oh, how do you know this game wouldn't have been woke? Do you see this creature? Seriously? Do you think this creature could write something that was even remotely close to a based Wonder Woman? Of course not. And then on top of that, this creature's already protected on Twitter. So I have no faith. I have no faith. And again, in the beginning, I did. I was excited for Wonder Woman, and I found out, oh, well, that sucks. It was like immediately flaccid. But that's just how it goes, man. That's the situation. So again, Wonder Woman fans are coping and teething right now, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, they're just going to have to accept that their video game died on the backs of creatures like this that want to threaten people for having differences of opinion. It's kind of sad, but it's true. So, all right, we are done with the main topic. Let's catch up on Super Chats.